Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to domain expand the subscribe button, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, with Megumi sensing that the special grade is dead, he is frozen as Sukuna appears behind him, revealing that Yuji is no longer able to regain his body. Having decided, Sukuna plunges his fist into Yuji's body, removing Yuji's heart and hence forcing Yuji to remain asleep, or else he will die, if he were to take his heartless body back. As Sukuna begins to mock Yuji's pathetic cries for help earlier, Megumi realizes that Sukuna had patched up Yuji's body, using reversed cursed energy. Choosing to believe, Megumi engages Sukuna, hoping to beat Sukuna into submission. Using his bird to distract Sukuna, Megumi attempts to strike down Sukuna, but he easily dodges each blow. Observing Megumi's movements, Sukuna is caught off guard by Megumi's snake summon, which allows Megumi's bird to electrocute Sukuna, but this has no effect. Killing the snake, Sukuna grabs a hold of Megumi, tossing him into the air, only to kick him mid-air. Attempting to get to safety, Megumi is cut off, as Sukuna smashes Megumi and his summon into a nearby building. Realizing that it's hopeless, Megumi brings back his summons. Seeing Megumi hold back, Sukuna wonders why Megumi has been hiding his ace, but Megumi utters that he had thought the best course in life is to blend in. Hoping to live a normal life, but when his dad disappeared, and sister was hospitalized, he realized that life sometimes truly isn't fair. Taking a stance, Megumi prepares to release a technique, but suddenly halts, seeing Yuji take back control. Thanking Megumi, Yuji collapses as he passes away. Elsewhere, we see several curses follow chat with a human, mentioning Sukuna's name, as they enter a restaurant. Having discovered Yuji's death, Gojo tells Aijichi that the reason the three newbies were assigned to fight a special grade. This makes Gojo angry, but the two are cut off by Ieri, who's here to inspect and learn about Yuji's corpse. Following Megumi and Kirisu, the two chat about Yuji's death, as Kurisu fights back the tears. Suddenly, a senior Maki questions why Megumi is so down, only to learn from Inumaki and Panda, the other seniors, that Megumi's colleague had passed. Changing topics, Panda asks the two for their help in the upcoming school tournament against Kyoto Tech, having friendly individual and team battles. Apologizing, Panda adds that normally the tournament would be between second and third years, but the current third years are suspended. Reassuring the two, Panda mentions that there will be no killing, and it's a battle between sorcerers. Wanting to get stronger, the two accept. Back with the human and curses, the human begins scheming, talking about starting a war, and that they need to first stop Gojo from interfering, and to convince Sukuna to side with them. Inside Yuji's corpse, we see Sukuna perched upon his throne, staring down at Yuji. Disgusted at the sight of Sukuna, Yuji begins to barrage Sukuna, but is clearly outmatched by his speed. Offering Yuji to heal his heart, Sukuna sets two conditions. One, when he chooses, he can switch Yuji for a whole minute, and two, Yuji must forget this promise. Realizing how suspicious the deal is, Yuji refuses, forcing Sukuna to add that he will not harm anyone. Still not convinced, Sukuna reveals that a vow made between two sorcerers cannot be broken, else the person who broke it will perish. Offering to fight Yuji, and if Yuji wins, he'll revive Yuji without the conditions, Sukuna instantly kills Yuji when the duel begins. Outside, Gojo chats with Aijichi, talking about how he could easily slaughter and remove all the current corrupt higher-ups from their positions, but they would simply be Instead, Gojo had planned to raise students that would one day take the higher-ups positions, having fought their way up the rankings, and experienced the harsh jujutsu world. As Ieri prepares to inspect Yuji, Yuji suddenly springs back up, surprising Aijichi and disappointing Ieri. Seeing his student back, Gojo is nothing but happy. Chatting privately with Ieri, Gojo asks that Ieri keep Yuji's resurrection a secret, only up until the upcoming tournament with the rival school. This will give Yuji enough time to grow stronger. Back with the human Getu, and one of the curses Jugo, Getu advises Jugo prioritize sealing and not fighting Gojo, as Getu is currently in possession of a device that is able to seal even the strongest sorcerer, Gojo. When Getu learns of this, he grows excited, igniting and killing the civilians around him, nonchalantly. Turning to Getu, Jugo asks how strong he is compared to Sukuna, to which Getu replies that he should be 9 fingers strong. Following Megumi, we see him inform the mother of one of the special grade's victims of her son's passing, apologizing for not being able to do extra. Returning to school, we see Panda help Kurisu train, as Maki states that Megumi and Kirisu need to both work on their close quarters combat. Cutting to Yuji, we see Gojo educate Yuji on the uses of cursed energy. Using 2 cans as examples, Gojo fills one can up with cursed energy and he applies a cursed technique on the other. Using an analogy, Gojo states that cursed energy is like electricity, whereas cursed techniques make use of this cursed energy to do special moves. Excited, Yuji is suddenly shot down, as Gojo states that the types of techniques Yuji has access to are dictated at birth. With Yuji demotivated, Gojo attempts to cheer up Yuji by having him focus on his physical skills, having him try to reignite his fist, but no success. Telling Yuji that cursed energy is created with emotions, having Yuji watch movies to help control the amount of cursed energy he can create, Gojo has a stuffed toy to punish Yuji, if Yuji is not feeding the stuffed toy a constant amount of energy. Back with Megumi, we see him ask Maki Senpai on how she's able to constantly use so many cursed tools during battle, but Maki just lets Panda act as her temporary bag. Remembering Sukuna's words, Megumi discovers a new trick to help him store weapons. As Yuji is watching an action movie, he fails at controlling his cursed energy, which Gojo had expected. Before leaving Yuji alone, Gojo asks if Sukuna had made a deal with him, but Yuji can't remember. Driven by Eijichi to meet with the principal, Gojo suddenly asks Eijichi to pull over and let him out. As Eijichi drives away, Jugo appears. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like,